In 1690, the deep water channel of the Hooghly allowed the British East India Company to bypass European rivals located further upstream. This strategic position established Kolkata as a premier global gateway, connecting the resources of the hinterland to international trade routes. A massive industrial boom followed, converting the riverbanks into a dense corridor of jute mills, shipyards, and paper factories that drew labor and capital from across the subcontinent. Beyond the industry, the river holds an intimate tie to the local life cycle. During Durga Puja, the immersion of clay idols into these sacred waters symbolizes the deity's return to her celestial home. At the dawn of Mahalaya, thousands of Bengalis gather on these same banks. They step into the water to perform tarpan, a solemn ritual of offering water and seeds to appease the souls of their ancestors. For centuries, the identity of the Hooghly has been defined by this specific combination of maritime commerce, native labor, and local Bengali rituals. But today, these historic industrial banks are the site of a paradox. Massive, ultra-luxury mega-townships are rising where the mills once stood. These developments often bypass regional Bengali architecture. Instead, they incorporate Banaras-style private ghats designed for a specific spiritual experience. Many of these townships have institutionalized daily Ganga Aarti rituals, traditions more commonly associated with Varanasi or Haridwar, to cater to non-Bengali religious sensibilities. Structural decisions are guided by strict Vastu Shastra compliance, prioritizing specific cardinal orientations for the kitchens and master bedrooms to appeal to high-net-worth investors. This raises a question about the changing face of the riverfront. Why is the holiest river in West Bengal being lined with estates that exclude its own native culture? The new riverfront skyline reflects the priorities of imported wealth and tradition, rather than the native history of the city. To find the buyers for these properties, developers often bypass local Bengali media entirely, decoupling their sales operations from the local market. Instead, they host invitation-only roadshows at five-star venues like the Taj Mahal Palace in Mumbai or DLF Emporio in New Delhi. Global expos in London and Dubai use immersive VR to pitch these townships as spiritual sanctuaries for aging parents back home, specifically targeting wealthy Hindu NRIs and merchant guilds. These multi-crore transactions often function as tax shelters. Under Section 54 of the Indian Income Tax Framework, NRIs can claim an exemption on capital gains from selling global assets by reinvesting that proceeds into residential property in India. This specific provision allows investors to shield up to 10 crore rupees, making these riverside sky villas a highly efficient tool for wealth preservation. Administrative friction is removed through 1090 subvention plans and escrow-backed currency blocks that protect overseas buyers from exchange rate volatility during construction. Through global marketing and specific tax frameworks, the Hooghly has been repackaged as a spiritual and financial haven for non-resident capital. If these developments are booming, it prompts the question, why isn't the local Bengali community competing for this space? A decades-long brain drain forced many millennials and Gen Z Bengalis to migrate to tech hubs in the West or other Indian metros, leaving behind an older generation in empty ancestral homes. For those who stayed, the traditional intellectual Adda culture is often viewed with bittersweet nostalgia, a reminder of a time when academic pursuit was prioritized over economic aggression. Bengali media and literature have long served as a record of the region's inner life. For decades, that life was defined by the poetic idealism and socio-political consciousness of the classic cinematic era, but modern narratives have largely moved toward gritty corporate realism. Characters in today's films and dark thrillers on platforms like Hoichoi grapple with office politics, professional compromise, and the emptiness of material wealth. This economic lag and the outward migration of the middle class created a vacuum. North Indian capital and its accompanying lifestyle simply filled the gap. If these riverfront townships were designed specifically for affluent Bengali families, the architectural language would change. The private ghats would be replaced by elevated Thakur lawns, grand courtyard podiums engineered for community-scale Durga Puja celebrations and musical soirees. The central luxury feature would be the Boighar. This architectural cross-section shows an isolated reading sanctuary with floor-to-ceiling teak shelving, capturing panoramic river views. Integrated here is the Janala Boshad, a cantilevered window seat suspended over the water, creating a dedicated space for reflection. The buildings would use terracotta accents and modern korkori, motorized vertical wooden louvers, to bridge contemporary minimalism with traditional textures. On the river itself, standard motorboats would give way to premium wooden badras, traditional houseboats used for poetry readings and musical gatherings on the water. Instead of this localized blueprint, the riverbanks are increasingly defined by monolithic, Vastu-compliant developments that function as high-end tax havens. Real estate is rarely culturally neutral. It is a physical mirror of whoever holds the liquid capital in a region. The Hooghly today reflects a stark economic reality, a riverfront where the architectural language and the capital required to build it are both being imported from the outside.